Real ass bitch get a fuck by the nigga.
All right, here we go.
We are some fucked up TLC right here. And I am here for it.
And I'm already sweating too.
Oh, she got her little fan over here.
I know that's right. I need one.
Hey, community.
We're black by popular demand.
So here's what's brewing today.
Black is strength.
Black is resilience.
And black is culture. So get your cups ready for Minority Report. Well, hello, ladies.
Hello.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Just the three of them. Right. Put that bass in your voice.
It's like we've been in like an open relationship and we had all these thoughts through our bedroom and now it's just the three of us.
It's just back to regular day.
Yep. Who's cooking dinner? Who's turning to clean the toilet?
So true. Well, hello.
The three of us. We can make it
if we try.
Just the three of us.
Just the three of us. Come on, Sopranos. Right. Oh man, community, don't mind us. We're just talking amongst ourselves right now at the beginning.
Look, that part in my mind, I was hearing "Better Day" by Kirk Franklin. Like it was just kept going up.
Right.
Just kept scaling up.
I love me a key change in a song.
Love.
That is the truth. Well, community, hello on this fine Monday. If you listen to us on Monday or whatever day of the week, it's just the three of us. We've had many a guest the last, I don't even know how many weeks in a row.
Well,
Four?
Yeah,
Something like
last
that.
month. Yeah,
Last month.
It's been a month. Yeah, because it was Issa's birthday the last time that we had just the three of us.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just us, but
It's just
hopefully
us.
you still love us.
I was gonna say, sorry to disappoint.
Right. And and so like we hopped on, like we'll get to it. We're kind of all been in our feelings with everything that's going on, but we hopped on and Dawon just decided to stun on us with his little bob.
Okay.
And so we said, you know what, bitch? You can't just stunt and we can't stunt too. Come on.
Look.
So
She
don't
giving
have
me
to
like
have bundles.
90s Janet Jackson with that bob, bitch.
She don't have to have bundles.
She giving us Jada Pinkett
can have
Smith and
inches.
Nutty Professor. Like, come on, Jada. Yes.
I'm here for it.
So it's a wig episode, so who knows what's going to happen. Obviously, we're going to be playing in it the whole episode, but
She nevers.
I did hairography like right before popping on the podcast. So she's ready. This thing ain't going nowhere.
Ooh.
She said stiff wear. Stiff
Look.
wear. Nowhere. Oh man. How's your week going? How's your spirit?
Mother Dawon?
Um,
No, Mother Dawana.
Right, exactly. Dawana do me.
Dawana do me.
You know that's my drag name, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I'm your drag daughter. I gotta know this.
Yes, Dawana do me.
Week has been stressful. Like it's been good-ish. Obviously like healthy and still quarantining like like a lot of people, not everybody. I'll be seeing stuff on the socials about these parties and I'm just like,
not low-key be kind of jealous, but I'm like, y'all gonna get extra sick.
Not me. I
Can't
don't.
do it.
Nope. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, it's been weird. There's just a lot of other stuff that's going on outside of like, and we'll get into it today, but just a lot of the other stuff that's been going on in Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that. But it's Wednesday and it feels like it's Saturday. Like it feels like this has been the longest 3 days. When we're recording, it's Wednesday. So it feels like it's been the longest week.
It really has.
I don't know. How about you guys?
Jerrell.
I don't know. For me, it's been mentally draining. It's been emotionally draining. Um, but spiritually, I feel great. Just because I'm fortunate to have people who check in on me on a regular, and that has just allowed me just to, if I had something to say, to speak up, and they just simply listen. And then also, other friends who are also Black men and Black women who just, we have these beautiful, just Black ass vent moments, whereas you just get to talk about just being Black without having to go into that extra explanation of like, so this is the point of view of being Black. Like, they just get it, So it's been nice. Shout out to like Garris and Gordon, and our crew, from the Shady Pines. But yeah, it's been it does feel like it's been a really long week. I feel like it's Monday, like the third Monday this week. And it's Wednesday.
Right.
And I'm like mad that it's Wednesday because I got so much shit to still do, like at work too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, man, like where's this extra time? I just need it. But lung in my chest, I got air in my lungs, I got a roof over my head, and I got, clothes in my back. So I'm blessed and highly favored.
I hear you on that. That's what I'm trying to, like, today has been the day that just, it seems like all the emotion is starting to come out. Like, I'm pretty good at staying pretty steady, not too high, not too low. Today, for some reason, it's been like all over the place. And it's just been this year, obviously for everyone, this year's been crazy, but like this last couple months, it just seems like more and more stuff keeps being thrown at me, just emotionally. And I think today is the day where I feel like I am hanging on literally by this thread of hair that's like, keep on sticking to my lips right now. Like, I'm hanging on. Like, it's gonna make me cry because like I just feel like I'm just hanging on.
I saw that in your post. Like, I saw your Facebook today.
Like,
and like your captions in your Facebook, even with some of your posts, I was like, oh, she is heated.
I'm heated. I'm mad. Emotional.
I saw it. I could tell.
It's like, just too much. It's just like, golly. And just like, and I think a lot of it's just like some of the personal stuff that's going on in my life that I haven't even shared on here, but it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then even at work, getting more work placed on me too. It's just like, oh my God. So today, I don't know what it was about today. So we'll see what happens in this episode from a Carell standpoint. Sorry ahead of time, y'all. But it's just like, golly. Even I have moments where I'm like, this is just too much. This is a lot. Just leave me the fuck alone.
It's wild because last week there was such a reprieve and there was such a high with like like the ending of the DNC and obviously with everybody being super excited about Kamala Harris and being energized finally again for like this, everybody knew what they had to do, what we have to do, in November. But last week was like I feel like the first time in a very long time that a lot of people, at least a lot of people in my circle, which obviously you guys are a part of that, we were excited and energized and felt like optimistic.
Yeah.
And then
they start shooting bitches again. Like they start shooting motherfuckers. Like,
You're absolutely right. A week ago, I didn't even think about that because a week ago seemed so fucking long ago.
It feels like a month ago.
But you're right. It was like 7 days ago. We were just like, man, Michelle Obama just dropped these bars on us. Like Barack hit us with he can't stand up.
Even Joe hung in there. Joe even gave us like a message.
And it just kept like validating all of this like energy that we were putting into the politics and trying to get outside of the fact that, oh, well, even though the ticket might not be like our preferred ticket, we still know that we have work to do. And we got somebody in there outside of Joe because he wasn't pulling any excitement. But we got somebody in there like Kamala that's getting people pumped up and thinking about all that AKA magic that she's going to bring when she walks that. Like, yes, like that was really exciting. And then we went to sleep on Sunday. Woke up in the Twilight Zone.
Girl, in the Twilight
This is
Zone.
America.
Right.
Like they reminded us real quick again.
Right. And we might as well just get into it. We might as well just get into what happened. So...
Well, start with the RNC first.
Girl. First of all, can we talk about Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend and how she was like yelling like, and the best is yet to come. And I was like,
sit your ass down.
Girl, she thought she was on Hunger Games.
She did. You right, bitch.
Right.
She came from the district nobody. like
who are you talking to?
Girl. And then how she just like was like talking about like how she referenced like Puerto Ricans like aren't Americans. Like that was another thing. I was like, I know this bitch did not. And she said that her parents are from Puerto Rico. Like, bitch. They're U.S. citizens too. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You haven't been claiming Puerto Rico until recently when you started with Donald Trump Jr. So don't even play. Don't even play.
Yeah, but no, the RNC, like, it's been a shit show. Like, okay, real talk, I only gave it a few minutes because Carell said he was going to give it a few minutes. I think I really gave it a few minutes. I'm talking about like 5.
I gave it a good maybe 40 minutes. And then he got into the segment where he had like the people at the White House. Hey, let's talk about why they're at the White House. That's ridiculous, by the way. Like, anyway, so he had that segment. He's at the White House, and he starts calling it the China virus and all this stuff. And all the people that he had them, like the regular Joe Schmo Americans in there, they're all like, oh, that's so funny. And I was like, I can't anymore.
No.
Like, that just turned me off. I was like, you're condoning what he's saying, calling it the China virus still?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, okay. I tried just because I want to know what the other side is talking about, what maybe their concerns are. And it wasn't that at all. It was literally a propaganda video.
And even how they were like praising him, saying he did a good job with the coronavirus, etc. And I'm just like, wait, so we're congratulating him on over 100,000 Americans dying? Like, that's supposed to be good. And his 4 years ago, he ran on the death of 4 soldiers that died in Benghazi. Like, your whole argument was that Americans shouldn't be dying, blah 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 blah, the first time, and now you have killed way more Americans.
It is
way more Americans, and yet you did a good job.
Right, it is what it is. So I was
y'all
like,
better than I am, because I'm not giving them motherfuckers any of my energy and time, not at all.
You right? Yeah, you said that. You're like, look,
no.
He said, "Fuck these gaslighters." She ain't here for it.
She did.
No, I'm not, because the reality, at least for me, everybody's wired differently, and I get like, I get being able to see both sides of the table and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, number one, I know that it was going to dominate the news cycle every single day this week. So I would get the highlights, but it's just like an award show. You don't have to watch the whole damn thing. You catch the highlights.
You are killing me with that one little strand.
Look, I will say this. I'm glad the media has been covering more about Jacob than the RNC.
Yes.
Actually talking about what's happening in Wisconsin.
It's killing old boy up there. It's killing him.
Oh, absolutely. and with Wisconsin being one of those states to fight for, that just really effed him. That just really effed him even more. Even more. But the truth,
I just feel like Mother Earth is like is coming for him because
I'm
there's
praying.
a lot of shit that's going on. There's this hurricane about to wipe out all them red states. I mean,
Did you see how it's like it's going
strengthening
like
big time?
I said,
Yes.
whoa.
It's a category
yes.
4 right now, so it's
Yeah.
hitting as we
Already.
record. So by
Right.
Monday,
We'll know what the deal
we'll
is.
probably have to post something, unfortunately, on social media of how to help a lot of those communities down there. But yeah. So luckily, at least the focus is hopefully correctly on the right stuff right now and overshining the craziness that is the RNC. But then obviously, Jacob gets shot 7 times in the back by a cop in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And just literally spirals us right back into the same narrative that we've been preaching it for centuries. But you would have thought after all of the protests and especially like the looting that they were so upset about and all this stuff, that they were like, you know what, let me maybe not shoot another black person for a little while.
Nope.
And
This little 17-year-old, dude from Illinois decided I'm going to get my AK-47, drive across state lines, and do some shit.
So
and he wasn't alone because there was a video that was posted. There was a video that was posted on Sean King's Instagram and his Facebook where they were interviewing white supremacists. They were also there with AK-47s who were saying that the police themselves were saying, oh, you know what? We're not going to worry about it. We're just going to push them your way and know that you're going to handle it.
Offering them water.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's just like, it's just
thank God for
cameras.
For video.
Yep.
Because they are catching everything.
But is it helping?
Yeah.
It's catching, but it's just like we're still getting shot.
First of all, the thing of it is that you're not going to see people changing overnight. So, but the fact of the matter is that for the last 25 years, we had people that were denying this was even happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's happening with these videos is there's irrefutable evidence of the things that we've been talking about. And, no one's saying that we wish that this continues on. I mean, obviously we don't want anyone to lose their life, but at the same point is, if this shit is still happening, this shit needs to be filmed so that people can see it for themselves. Because one thing that we've learned with pandemics, with the HIV situation, people who aren't affected by it don't give a damn about it.
Yes.
So until it affects them, until they can actually see it with their own eyes, it doesn't resonate. So yeah, it makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's just I feel like we've seen so many of them now.
No, and you're right. We absolutely have.
Another one.
But remember the conversation we were having a week ago and 2 weeks ago about, the people that are in our lives that, like you were saying, Carell, how I'm not unfriending them because they need to see they need to see this shit too.
Yeah,
and as hard as it is for us to live through it, because if you think about it, we've got damn near 130 years between the three of us.
Yeah.
Maybe
and we won't say who has the majority of those. You know this, right?
Mother dear.
She says stiff well.
She's giving you all this melanin, honey. But we got all these years of experience, of Black experience, which means that we know about persecution. We know about discrimination. We have been discriminated against. We've discriminated against other people. We know this life. But part of white privilege is they don't experience it in a way that is tangible that allows them to care about it.
Well, I hope these videos make them care, because it sometimes feels like they still don't, that they're still finding ways to justify the shooting. Because if I see one more person talk about Jacob's past and all this stuff, even if he's the worst human being on earth, cops should not be shooting civilians like this. That's not a justification to shoot someone. So that's the part that's just so infuriating and so frustrating, that even though you're seeing this, you're still finding ways to justify it and kind of dodge the situation and dodge what's going on. No, like, this is not right. Like, how in your soul do you justify that this is correct behavior?
Privilege.
It don't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how horrible the human being is.
Look what happened to Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
I'm sure them fucking white devils, to use one of them old terms from Malcolm X, tried looking in her past to find something to justify the fact that she got murdered in her own home, having done nothing wrong.
But this is how Trump got elected, though. You know, I mean, there are so many people in this country that think like that. And I think it's true to what Dawon said. I think so many people think like that because they have not lived the Black experience to know and have that knowledge that what they've been taught and conditioned to know is actually wrong. I mean, I can't tell you, like, growing up in Minnesota, like, I spent a lot of time in the state of Wisconsin. And I actually dated a few, like, serious people in Wisconsin where I would go back to middle fucking nowhere in Wisconsin and would be put in places where, like, a bitch is, like, looking at the exits. She's staying by the doors because it ain't safe for me there, you know? And you're here about, like, oh, you know, we don't get many colored people around here.
Mm-hmm. And you like to go to them straight bars, too.
At 2008, 2010. Well, because that's all they have there. Yeah. That's all they have there, you know? Yep. But again, these white people, and especially at this time, white gays that gay men that I was dating, that's where they're from. That's their tradition. So they're welcome there because they're white. They get away with a lot of the stuff. But as soon as you bring race into the equation, all that shit don't matter. You know? And so I'm not surprised to see that this is happening in Wisconsin at all whatsoever. Not even a fucking little bit. Because outside of Milwaukee, that state for the longest time had been a red state up until, like, the last election that it became somewhat blue, and that they actually I think it was the Obama years was the finally years that it turned blue. Yeah, and then now with Trump it turned red again, but you know, so, like, for the longest time it had been a red state, a red Republican racist ass fucking state. Now, not to say that everyone there is, because I do know quite a few people who are white and of color that, you know, are great people, you know, but there's a lot of shit literally up in that fucking state.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Michigan, so I get it. Like, I remember one time going back home and going to a bar, and it's like the towny bar, and I hadn't been, maybe I hadn't been home, or maybe I hadn't been to that bar in years or whatever. This is maybe 2000, call it 8, 9, so a decade ago. And I remember going to the bar with high school friends and things like that, you know, especially being one of the, we said last episode, like, the token Black family and all this stuff, and me being involved in everything I was involved with, like student council president, blah, blah, blah. I hate the word popular. Like, I hate that word because it's like, that doesn't mean shit.
Here she go.
But it doesn't mean anything. But anyway, like, I was used to at least being able to maneuver in my own town, even though it was predominantly white, being able to maneuver in a way that most people knew me. And I'll never forget, I went home on Christmas or something like that, and going into the towny bar, used to the random white people that's going to be in there and the random looks you sometimes get. And I remember this one person came up to me and asked me, like, what are you doing in here? And I looked at this, I was like, drinking.
I own this motherfucking bar. What are you talking about? What are you doing in here?
I was like, who are you? Like, what are you doing in here? And luckily, like, a lot of people that I knew that, Carell's back in town, blah, 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 came up and stuck up for me. And, like, whoever, this random guy that from, like, the surrounding areas didn't even, like, live in the town or whatever, kind of stuck up. But it's just, like, it reminded me again, I was like, you know where you're at, Carell. Like, you know, you saw it your entire life here. And the second you aren't home as often, and maybe new people either moved into town or visit here more frequently and don't know who you are, that narrative is going to come back up again, no matter how long and how much actually I truly adore where I'm from. You know, it gave me the foundation of where I'm at today, but it's still those moments of middle nowhere, Midwest, that you get a check real quick that, oh, hold on, yep, Carell, they're looking at your skin even to this day.
Still a nigga.
Even right, you know, even as comfortable you think you are maneuvering in your own town where you grew up, you're gonna get a reality check. And
we teach
so I
people
agree.
in this country. We teach people in this country to ostracize things and individuals that are different.
Yeah.
We teach people to cluster together, like that are with people that think like you, act like you, and look like you. And then we also, in the same time, teach people how to ostracize people who aren't like you.
Yeah.
And we even do it. And I'm not trying to take away from the conversation, but we even do it in the Black community because
for sure.
we do it ourselves. You know, so like it just exacerbates the point that instead of people just being friendly for the sake of being friendly, or human for the sake of just being a decent motherfucking human being, right? You have people that have some kind of chip on their shoulder, like, you know, like if it's not their perspective, if it's not the way they want it to be, then it automatically it's wrong, or you're wrong and you don't have a place here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's problematic. But they don't learn today because
they gonna learn today, especially this year.
There ain't no more. Look, there ain't no more. It's above me now. We beyond that.
We beyond that.
we be way beyond that.
Yeah.
There's
we above that.
The Black militia is the fastest growing gun toting population in the United States right now. And I've been saying this for months. Mark my words, we are getting super close.
Play with us if you want to.
Yeah.
This is gonna be just one too many days that you're shooting at us.
What did that viral video girl say? She said, "You better be lucky we looking for what?"
Which video?
Oh my God, that we're not looking for revenge.
Yeah. The
viral video where that
Atlanta.
chick had that.
Yeah,
right.
she was from Atlanta. Yeah.
Don't out here.
There's been a couple videos. So I was trying
That's what I was like. You said the viral video. I was like, I was going through the Rolodex real quick. Like,
I was like, okay, carry the one.
In the context of carrying guns to seek revenge, because
right.
we're not just going to be protecting ourselves. We're going to say, okay, now we're fighting.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to boil down to.
Yeah.
And I love seeing today. We saw the Milwaukee Bucks make a stand. We saw the NBA make a stand. We saw the WNBA make a stand. We're now seeing the MLB make a stand. Where the Milwaukee Bucks, number one team in the NBA, number one player probably in the NBA right now with Giannis, just getting the Defensive Player of the Year. He's probably going to get the MVP award this year. So highly visible team.
Yeah.
And especially in sports, the windows of winning are so short. For a team to be like, we are not playing. We're not even going out on the floor. We're making a stand and they didn't tell the owners. They didn't tell the NBA. They didn't tell the refs. They didn't tell the other team they were playing. Yeah. They said, guess what? We ain't playing today because we got shit to say. And it happened 40 miles from Milwaukee. So it's just like, it's awesome to see the collective, them all be on one accord, because let one team say, oh no, we're playing or something like that. It diminishes the message. So to see the whole NBA of players say, no, we with you, Milwaukee. They're having a players meeting tonight at 8:00 as we record. So right now, just to see, is the season going on? If it does, what does it look like? What do we demand? Because we know, hey, if all these players are not going to play, you got the LeBrons and the Chris Pauls and everything of the world not playing. That's money. The NBA is losing money. The sponsors are losing money. The owners are losing money. Now,
you know, the number one thing white people don't play with
is money.
Their money.
And so to be all on one court and demand these owners, these same sponsors, these same, like the NBA, to say, okay, if you want us to play, this is what we demand. We demand you to go to these governors and these legislators and these representatives. We want change tomorrow. Like when we wake up at 8 a.m., we want change.
Think about it this way. Let's go back to Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Right? He was damn near the only person who was willing to stand up, kneel down, kneel down and take all that heat and he had teammates who wouldn't support him.
No.
Now we've come a long way. So when we talk about
5
like,
years,
when you talk about like, you know, this is another video. This is unfortunately, this is the road we have to take in order for people to see that they need to step in and be part of the solution. You know, we had the WNBA do this, 2 months ago? They walked out.
Yeah,
so,
they walked out again tonight too.
You know, so, I mean, but it's taken a long time. It's
Yeah.
taken a very long time for us to get to this place. And we're talking about people that are part of the community.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like, and I get it too, because like sometimes, like, and not everyone's making LeBron money. You know, it's like, so I get it. Like, you're probably supporting family, you're supporting things.
Don't
so
put a dollar amount on your life, though.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to get to.
That's the thing. Don't sell yourself to the devil.
Exactly. Like, it's like I get it, but the money will come. Like, if you stand for what you believe in and that we're worth something, the money will come. The money will follow because it has no choice. Because, like you said, corporations and sponsors and these white people, they gonna want their return on something. So, okay, you want your return? Guess what my stipulation is? I want to be seen as worthy. You ain't gonna be shooting me nowhere. So you better go to these cop unions. You better be going to these governors. You better go to these representatives. Put your money there. Put the money in our communities. Because if not, I am not stepping foot on this court, and I have the whole league behind me. It's not just Colin anymore. We have every single person in the NBA, the WNBA. Y'all, nobody getting money today. Nobody until you see that we are all worth getting money with. You know, so I am so here
within the Black community that's happening. I keep going back to just mentally. I keep going back to, and I'm glad, Perot, you brought up the conversation about just money, because even within our own selves, we will invest in things despite the destruction of our own communities. You know, so I was so excited to participate, and a lot of people participated in a Buy Black Tuesday event. And I think that's highlighted just one of the many other ripples of systemic racism, not just like the overt violence, you know, but the systemic racism that is instilled within the communities. And the fact that you have so many corporations that are trying to profitize off of, you know, our Black suffering, you know, by putting their, you're Club Monaco, are you going to put out a Black Lives Matter t-shirt?
Right.
No, what you should have done is you should have partnered with or gave money to a Black company to do that. Like, you shouldn't profit off of our pain. But and I say all that to say that we're starting to have different conversations now. We're starting to hold ourselves accountable and other people accountable for where do they spend their time, where do they spend their money, because it's not just about saying Black Lives Matter and that's it.
Right. And then what did Jay-Z just say in that entrepreneur song with him and Pharrell? He said something like, for everyone Gucci, support 2 FUBUs. Jay-Z, you better preach, because like you said, like, we are quick to buy up some Gucci. We are quick to buy up some Fendi. But won't support a FUBU, won't support old boy down the street selling the t-shirts, won't support old girl selling her weaves and stuff like that. You rather go to the Asian beauty store. Like, we got with it, and I get the history of it. So I don't want to sound like yes, I do. Like, we're preaching to us. We need to be preached to, but
sometimes you got to preach.
But it's like, I get the history behind it. I get it. I understand how we got to this. But now that we're all quote unquote woke, and like, we're keeping our foot on this pedal, now is the time to change a whole lot of habits that we've done that, like you said, have been to a detriment to our own community. Because unfortunately, sometimes in the past, that was like our only option, honestly, you know? But now we got a lot of options. So don't play Black Friday coming up this year. I want you to, at least for every Gucci you spend your money on, support 2 FUBUs.
So that leads to my thing. That leads to my question to ask you guys. And, you know, I think we have talked about this before, especially, you know, around the time when George Floyd was murdered, and the movement had started again. We talked about what are you doing to self-medicate? What are you guys doing?
So you mean to self-medicate to make sure that we're mentally good?
Yeah,
Or-
just to make sure that that you're stable enough and that you aren't being emotionally, physically, mentally drained every day by looking at the news,
Yeah.
which I feel like is another battle. I feel like it's almost like another full-time job at this point, like with no benefits, no fucking pay, and no fucking PTO, bitch.
Right,
You
right.
stay clocked in 24/7 these days.
No handy, no blowjob,
nothing.
Like,
Okay,
damn.
like
It's like I gotta do this shit myself,
right?
But
yeah,
honestly, I honestly, I've probably been bad. Like, I know how much we preach on here. I've been bad about that, honestly. Like, I have no time for myself, honestly, at this point. Like, just personally, there's a lot of stuff going on that need my focus. We got the podcast going on. I'm getting more work at work. So honestly, I've been horrible at it. Like, nothing. And that's sad to say. Like, I mean, I have a stack of books that I said I was going to read that I haven't read. There's music out there that I said I was going to listen to that I haven't listened to, because literally everything else is taking up my time. So honestly, maybe this is a wake-up call. And maybe that's why today I'm literally at that point where I'm like, I feel like I'm losing it a little bit. So yeah, honestly, to be 1,000%, I haven't been doing enough to probably solely focus on Carell.
What about you, Dawon?
I've been pretty good. Not to say that I don't have my moments, but to answer your question more succinctly, I check out. When we were talking about the RNC, I'm like, my heart don't need that. I don't need that. In order for me to function, I don't need to put myself through that kind of anguish, frustration, etc. Like, I think, like there's this whole kind of like philosophy of like, avoidance, right? And I'm really good at saying, I'm checking out. I don't have to I will ghost on a person, on a friend, on a family member. I ghosted on my mama for like 2 months. Like, and it doesn't mean that I don't love them or whatever, but it means that sometimes, like for me, I've learned I have to take care of myself. And if that means I need to step back and not be as communicative, sorry, they drag racing.
Ladies, start your engines.
Right. And may the best woman win.
But at the end of the day, I think for me, it's about, I got to have a temperature check. How am I feeling? What's going on with, the head, and what's going on with the heart? Like, and then what do I need to do? And for me, my go-to is, if I need a break, I need a break. I take a break. I don't ask for permission. I just bye. And then I'll tell you afterwards. Sorry, you haven't seen me because I've sent you guys that text.
So
I'm sorry I haven't been responding to messages and blah, blah, blah. I just needed some time to myself. I'm good now.
And community, you might not get the podcast for a month. I'm like, oh, sorry, y'all. I was gone.
I'm out.
We'll play some reruns from last
I'm not going to upload shit.
We'll start doing seasons like some of the other podcasters are.
We might.
And we'll take take a couple off so that we'll do some reruns.
We absolutely might.
But at the end of the day, my advice to anybody is listen, no, not everybody's the same. And people have to do what works for them. I think the biggest advice I can give you is that you need to figure out what your triggers are. If you don't know what your triggers are, that's the dangerous part, because then you end up walking into things that you're not prepared for, or you're not prepared to handle. So start soul searching. And if this stuff, like, I didn't even watch the video. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't watched the full video either.
I did. I watched him.
I saw him go around the corner. I was like, nope, I can't do this.
Nope. And it's like, and I don't have to see it, because guess what? My life's history, the things that I've seen and experienced, I know exactly what's going to happen. I don't need to see it to make it real. Right. I don't need to see it to make me feel, angered about it, frustrated about it, to turn that into active. I don't need all that. But some people don't know that.
That's true too.
Some people just don't know.
For me, I've been doing a little bit of both. I've been checking out. but I've also been making sure to check in on others. You know, like for me, it's kind of like making your like, it's almost like unexpected support groups. You know, like when you check in with someone else, you find yourself being able to have conversations that just naturally release
Some of
that
that
emotion.
tension.
Yeah, some of that
Yeah.
tension, you know. And
Release
it ends
some
up being like two
tension.
birds, one stone, you know, like I end up checking in, just make sure someone else is okay. And at the same time, they end up checking on me too at the same time, you know? So that's kind of been my thing. And also just like listening to music has just really allowed me to just kind of be like, you know what? I'm just going to put my headphones on. I ain't listening to nothing. I would literally lay on my floor in my room in the dark and just listen to some music for 30 minutes and just like listen to the lyrics and think about like, you know, what they may have been going through or like why they chose these words and like how would it did something different. I was reading an article. I wish I knew who the artist was, but in the article, the Black woman talked about like scheduling time for yourself. You know, it was an article about like Black mental health and how like in order to start making time for yourself, you have to put it in your calendar. Because a lot of us aren't conditioned to set aside time for your mental health. And, you know, so she suggested that you take on your calendar and you put it, whether it's every day or every other day or once a week, 30 minutes to an hour, where that alarm pops on, you stop what you're doing and you disconnect. And you make that time for yourself to just recenter yourself and think about and validate who you are as a person. And you figure out where you are currently in that moment, mentally, physically, emotionally. And you make a game plan. And so that way, the next time you have that alarm go off, you have now made one step to the next goal. Yeah. So, you know, so that's something I would encourage people to as well, you know, just making sure that you do take the time. And literally, you know, every smartphone has a calendar where you can put on it for it to remind you 30 minutes a day, take a breath.
And it's interesting, and it kind of dawned on me this last weekend. Usually creating music's kind of like my escape. Like I don't think, whatever, it just kind of flows out, and that's kind of my stress. I haven't even been doing that the last 4 months, 5 months, honestly, just because like everything's just been so busy that I think I need to do that and literally be diligent about scheduling on like whatever. And usually I'm not a big person on calendars and stuff like that, but being like, you know what, screw it. With some music right now. If the podcast get up late, to get up late. If this get up late, to get up late. It is what it is. Because that's probably the one thing that's been consistent since I was like 14 was creating.
Absolutely.
And I haven't been doing that. And I think that's what's kind of maybe starting to, I don't know, stress me out. Because I'm still pretty good about just like separating, like things don't really trigger me. But I just feel like right now so much is on my plate that's about everything else.
Yeah, that you don't have that room to go to someone else.
Exactly. And so it's just like by the time like I get thinking about maybe music, I'm exhausted or just like, I just want to sit my ass on this couch and then I fall asleep and start the next day again, you know, kind of thing. So I agree. That's something that you definitely have to be diligent about.
And it doesn't have to be something on your calendar. It can just even be an alarm. Just when that alarm goes off at 5:35 p.m., that means stop what you're doing and take some time out. And again, it doesn't have to be, you know, a half an hour. It don't have to be an hour. It's as long as it's the time that helps you and that's healthy for you, that's all that matters. You know,
I think there's a misnomer out there, and maybe I'm wrong, correct me, but like, I think there's a misnomer out there that you have to be on the brink of like nervous breakdown in order for you to like
finally take some time
reassess. Like for you to reassess like where you are. Like there are people that are experiencing trauma, emotional, spiritual trauma, intellectual trauma with the events that are happening, but yet, you know, they'll go on vacations, they'll work, they'll continue their work, they'll hop on their Zoom calls, they'll spend time with their kids, they'll spend time with their partner, they'll do all these things. And, you know, I think, again, there's this notion out there that, you know, like, you have to come to a breaking point in order for you to, like, check in with yourself. And you know, I'm just an advocate that people should be checking in with themselves all the time. How am I feeling? Because you can do all those, you know, I don't necessarily suffer from depression, but you know, I struggle a bit with anxiety and anxiousness about certain things. And I'll wake up in the middle of the night and then my mind is racing. It happened to me, well, this week, which is probably why this week feels so long. But my mind is just racing, and thinking about all these different things that I can't even, there's no way that I can control them, you know? And that's an example, but it does go on. So if I'm having a conversation with Adam, or if I'm meeting with you guys, like, you might not see that as Heath. And I guess the point I'm making is, you know, we're all important for each of us to check in with, assess how am I doing, because I think it's a very fair question you pose about, okay, well, how are you feeling and how are you managing it? And I don't think we're asking ourselves that same question.
Yeah, and I think it's because, you know, it's at the bottom of the list. That's why people tend to wait until it's too late. And I think we need to start prioritizing it, just like we prioritize, you know, washing your legs, washing your ass, washing your body every day.
You know?
That's a priority.
You know, and making sure
that is a priority.
It is, you know, like, for real. Make sure you got your shea cocoa butter on before you leave out the goddamn house. You know, make sure you take your ass to work. You know, and make sure you know more than 5 minutes late if you're gonna be late to work. You know, you know, like, just, you know, there are other things in life that we put this importance on. And I think mental health, or just not just mental health, but just like self-awareness and where you are, no matter the plane, is a priority, you know. And as someone who suffers the depression, and I've been vocal, like, even with last year, with everything that I went through with my depression, and when I had my mental breakdown, you know, like, I kid you, like you said, Dawon, like, at that point, I felt like the only thing I could do was literally check myself into a mental health institute at that point, you know, because it had became too late. But it should never get to that point for anybody. And I hate that it took for me to have to go through to now know, but now that I know, I'm going to keep saying it until I turn blue in the face that everyone else know without having to go through. You know?
Yeah, I agree. And like, I know there's a couple people said, the reason why the Bucks players actually, they were probably the prime ones that probably started this, almost like boycott. Honestly.
Yeah,
is because the Bucks player Sterling Brown, he's a current Bucks player, he had a knee to his neck a couple years ago. A lot of people kind of forgot about that, and was punched by a Milwaukee PD for parking incorrectly. And then also a former Buck, John Henson, had the cops calling him while shopping for jewelry, just for being black. So it's a personal thing for them. Like, they've each been through public situations that the press knows about, like, that the media knows about. So it's not only, yes, it's Jacob, but they've gone through some high profile stuff that honestly embarrasses them. You know, like, it's just like, simply for being black, and then, like, you gotta explain what happened, and, you know, like, that's embarrassing at the end of the day too. It's just like,
there was that video that came out recently about a case that I think it happened last year about, I think it was a basketball player and some police officer at a basketball game or baseball game, but it was a black guy. And the police report was saying, the police report was saying that he instigated it, but then, and this entire time they had this cam footage from the guy's body cam.
Yeah.
And then the body camera footage came out showing that the cop was the actual aggressor.
Yeah, it was the Toronto Raptors president, Masai Ujiri or something like that. He's the president of the Raptors.
Right.
At that. And yeah, it was last year, and it was like a big thing. And the cop was suing him, saying that he like shoved him and called him distress and all this stuff. And like you said, they've been sitting on this footage for that long, and finally it came out. And now people are like, what the hell? Like, everyone knows the character of this president of the Raptors. Like, everyone in the league speaks so highly of this guy. Mm-hmm. He's one of the few black presidents of basketball in the league. So to kind of drag his name through the mud and then to come out like it was you that did this shit, like that's the privilege. And so in instances like that, like I completely agree with you. Like having these videos changes the narrative. They'd be like, oh shit, we've been saying this forever, and finally we have the videos to prove what we've been saying is true. And then the only other time that the NBA has had like a boycott where NBA players boycotted the game was back in 1961 when Bill Russell and a handful of Celtics players sat out because of racial injustice. So for us to say this again 50 years later for the same bullshit,
it's a damn shame.
Like, come on. So allies, we need your help too. Continue to speak up as well. We can't do this on our own, clearly, because we've been fighting it for centuries. So it takes people in high places and people with skin that doesn't have melanin to aid us, honestly, to check your own race of people and biases that you might have unknowingly sometimes as well, to fix this, honestly, because
it just goes back to these other movements that are quote unquote non-black, like the Me Too movement. And the impetus of like the Me Too movement is believe victim. The victim says something, believe them. They don't need to have proof. They don't have to explain what they were wearing. They don't have to believe them. But when it comes to us, you know, and I'm saying even within our own community, first it's like we have to have it thrown in our faces in order for us to feel some kind of way. And I'll say this, I'm guilty as every other person out there, because this stuff has been going on and I haven't been as vocal. I haven't been as active, you know, and again, because it hasn't impacted, it hasn't like affected me personally. So, you know, I'm not saying this to preach at everybody else. This is partly from myself, but sometimes you just have to see it in your face in order to move you into action. And I'm glad that we're finally seeing this shit for exactly what it is.
Because I don't want to be in 2021, 2029, 2043, still talking about this shit and nothing changing and no laws being adjusted. No, you know, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the narrative, you know? So I don't want to be here next year and be in the same position. I don't want to read a tweet where they said, oh, remember in 2020 when the Milwaukee Bucks set out that game? Oh, social and racial injustice. Oh, we got to do it again. No. It's not happening.
And just let me just put these haters in their place for a second, because I just want to speak on the fact that we're wearing wigs right now. And I don't want anybody coming up in these comments talking about it's invalidating the fact that we're wearing wigs has any bearing on the facts that we are saying on this podcast. What I'm wearing, how I'm wearing, if I'm tousling my hair, whatever it is I'm doing has absolutely nothing to do to degrade or diminish or take away, and I'll use a whole bunch of other D words if you need me to. I got the vocabulary. Don't call me Auntie Chardonnay for nothing. But it does not take away from the message. So if you're watching this, when you're they're playing with their hair so much, no, they're looking for an excuse to get away from the actual issue, which is what we're talking about. This is a facade. It's drag. Just like the fact that I'm wearing a black shirt, I could be wearing anything else. Well, for those that are watching on the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
That was an auntie thing to say.
That was a very auntie thing on the YouTube.
On the YouTube. Y'all talk about me and the weed. Okay, on the YouTube.
But I just want to put that out there. Like,
absolutely.
Don't. And honestly, this is a bigger thing than like just the wigs that I'm wearing. What I'm talking about is don't be sidetracked. Don't be sidetracked by the gaslighters, by the people that are trying to take your focus off your passion, take your focus off your pain, take your focus off your anger, and take your focus off of your focus. Because at the end of the day, those people are out there, and we have them in our own families and our own friends. They be all up in our comments talking about, well, you know, all lives matter. No, bitch, because if all lives matter, then that black man wouldn't have been shot in his back 7 times. So
you better preach on it.
I'm telling you, like, don't let the wig fool you.
That part. Right.
I saw you at the door.
Woo! I don't even know what to say after that one.
People love to like, it's like people want to be so woke that they don't give you the opportunity, or they look for, not don't give, they look for anything to take away from your message.
Discredit you. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And what I want people to get out of this is, y'all, just like what Jerrell, when you were asking the question about how are you taking care of your mental health, part of taking care of your mental health is making sure that you find those people that are in your circle or around your circle that do that shit to you. Because
I mean, the truth is,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, baby, go ahead. Finish.
You know, I got a whole lot to say.
Because what they're doing is taking that energy away from what really needs to be done.
Exactly.
Yeah. And, you know, kind of to what you were saying, Dawon, all I got to say is you can get your ass beat by someone with a wig on real quick. Just saying. Just saying.
Did y'all see that? Did you see that video that was going around? I think it was this weekend.
And stomp your ass off too at the end.
And then whop on that head.
Toss that little.
Okay. For real.
I know that's right.
Did you see that? Did you guys see that video that was going around this past weekend about that trans woman that was fist fighting? I think Dominique Jackson posted it, and a whole bunch of other people posted it.
Mother Leslie.
Yes. But it was just, and normally this is not to say that any one of us are condoning or inciting violence. Right. But like I said earlier, you don't catch the right one on the wrong day.
Seriously. And maybe the right day.
Maybe the right day. Right.
Absolutely. I mean, I have dreams about fighting people, so you try me if you want to. A bitch, stay ready, bitch. She do. Look, I literally told Fizz today, I was like, I had a dream and you pissed me off in my dream, and I woke up and I wanted to punch you in your face. I literally said that was funny. Today.
I mean, it's not funny, but I hit Adam. I was having a dream. I was fighting somebody, and out of my dream, I went like this.
You mollywopped him.
Like, ah! I felt horrible. I don't mean to laugh because that happens sometimes. My dreams be so real. Like if I'm running.
Same. Girl.
But I had a dream the other night, and mind you, the dream. This is how ridiculous the dream was.
Oh,
okay, Lord. Just for a little bit of levity. I was at a comedy club, and for some reason, I had signed up to do a set. But, bitch, I didn't prepare no material. So my dream was I was pissed off about myself because they were getting ready to call me next to go up to do my set, and I didn't have any material. So I was mad. I was like, I need to get off this. And then the dude that owned the comedy club came up to me, and he was pissed off that I wasn't going to. He's like, you going up on this stage? I was like, no, I ain't going up on that stage. I ain't got no material. My name shouldn't even be on there. And so he wanted to fight.
And so you was ready.
So you're ready.
Like I said, don't let the Chardonnay fool you.
Come on. See world, see what y'all doing to us. We fight even in our dreams.
I mean, ain't the world. I'm Auntie Hennessy for a reason. So look, I can't even blame it on the world. It is.
It's just what in your DNA.
Remember a couple of weeks ago, she went to the soccer field or the whatever field out there in Seattle.
Oh
And somebody kicked the ball that was near her. And she was ready to fight right then and there. And we were in the thick of the pandemic.
Right in the middle of that part. Look, and actually every time I go back to that part to go work out, I'll be looking for him. I'll be like, I want someone, because now they got soccer people over there. So I'll be standing my ground. I'm like, kick that ball over here. One time, actually, 2 days ago, a man kicked it over there like 4 times. And the 5th time I kicked it over, I kicked it to the other side. I sure did. I didn't even say nothing to him. I just said, bloop, and I kicked it the other way. And guess what? He moved that net to the other side of the field.
There we go.
He wouldn't disturb me.
That's that Corey Edwards spirit, too. He got that same kind of spirit.
Because otherwise, I'm going to jail. Otherwise, it's going to be me next. And I ain't trying, look.
Not today. We ain't trying to have no auntie on the news.
No.
See, I'll keep the bail. I'll keep the bail money because I ain't fighting nobody. You ain't hitting this.
Look, I'll text you. I got the bail money ready. I got me. I got my little.
Got the little.
People got a
ready.
savings. I got a bail account waiting on the side. So, look.
Be like, I got your Venmo real quick. Oh man, but yeah, like in community, like we purposely this episode decided not to do an Ask Your Auntie. So if you're looking for Ask Your Aunties, it's not coming. Check the episode next week. Look, probably
you're just gonna have to be disappointed.
You're gonna have to be, or listen to some old episodes.
You know, look, learn something today. And
the more
as a person,
you know.
Right, the more you know. But you know, like I'm hoping that this whole beginning of this episode has just, even for, because we have a lot of non-POC listeners too, has just been enlightening in the fact of just like remembering to keep saying something and keep showing up and keep supporting, and just don't get tired of feeling like, well, I have done this, I've done this. It's not enough until all of us are free. Facts. That's the truth. Facts. You know, so until...
And it's a privilege to opt out.
Ooh.
That's privilege.
That's still privilege, yeah.
That is,
because the rest of us can't.
This is our all day, every day. And that's what I hope people get out of this, is just like, as much, yes, we wear the wigs, we're kikiing, we're goofing off here and there, we talk about poop and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, we walk out this crib,
and it's a whole other story. That's a whole other story.
Because I guarantee Jacob did not go to that barbecue that day thinking, well, he probably did think there's always the potential out there, but like, you know, it's a scary thing. It's just like, you just don't know. You walk out your crib, and it could be like a misunderstanding or whatever. And you get shot 7 times in front of your kids?
In the back. And you know, like, I mean, there are times where I go to leave my house and I'll double check what I'm wearing. I'm like, okay, how much am I wearing is too black?
Right.
To the point where if someone see me, I'm gonna look like a threat.
And it's sad we have to think that.
Right. You know, or the fact of like code switching. I used to leave code switching just for work. Now I have to go out in public and make sure I keep my. Hi, how are you doing today?
How are you doing today? Do you know what aisle? What aisle is the peanut butter on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, like I shop at Trader Joe's.
It's so true.
It's
so true.
I mean, because the littlest thing, because we literally can't do nothing, as we know.
The killer part about it is
by being black.
The killer part about code switching and being black in America is that we code switch and don't even know it. It's not even a conscious thought. It's not even like, oh, I'm going to turn it on.
It just happens.
It just happens.
It really does. It's just like happens. And honestly, I don't know where you learn it, because I don't ever recall my parents telling me that you had to do it. But it's just sad that like you learn it and you know it's a part of surviving. That's the sad thing part of like this privilege thing that we kind of preach, that like a lot of people are like, oh, we don't see it all day, every day. The fact that we don't even know sometimes when we do that shows that at some point in our lives, we learned that we had to do that, and that it happened frequently enough that is just ingrained that, oh, I see someone that might look a little too white or might look, so I better, oh, hey, how you doing today? You doing all right? Oh, where's the peanut butter aisle? Okay, thank you so much. I hope you have a good day.
Mhm.
Even when you don't feel like talking, you don't feel like doing shit, but you have to go above and beyond simply to make sure you don't come across, especially me at 6'2", like to make sure I am not seen as a threat.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. It's absolutely sad.
I guarantee almost every Black person has had, I would say
They know what we're talking about right now.
Well, I mean, you know, almost every Black person has had somebody say something like, "Oh, you're so articulate."
And if I get one more person that find out that I got a full ride and ask me for what sport, thank you. I think I said on here, thank you for thinking my body type is that. Thank you. However, comma, I can be actually smart. Like I'm actually intelligent. You know?
Yeah. And it's funny because Fizz says it all the time. He gives me shit because, you know, we both work from home. I work in the room and he works in the kitchen. And he'll be like, "This is Jerrell with Ability. How are you doing?" And he'll make fun of me and I'll be like,
don't
girl.
Survival.
So it literally, like, I have to. Because if I be like, "Hey, what's up?" You know, like, "Thanks for giving me a call. What can I do for you?" Like,
right.
What you
like,
what?
And that kind of like I forget what account on Instagram where they were talking about like how a lot of people diminish the Black vernacular. And it's just like, yes, I get proper English. I got a 35 on the ACTs for English. So don't try me. I know how to talk and write proper English. However, comma, to diminish the Black vernacular as less than is a tragedy in this country and across the world, honestly. You don't diminish any other slang across the world. You don't diminish any other like dialects within other languages. But when it comes to the Black vernacular, where we have our own little lingo and our own little way of saying things, now it's less than. So we haven't even touched on that in like 81 episodes. But I hate that. And I hate when I do it and I get corrected. And I'm like, I know exactly what I was saying. So if you really want to come down to the English language, let's do it because I will destroy you.
And just to clarify, that's exactly not EX. He said exactly. With
exactly.
3 Z's.
Right.
Right.
3 Z's. That's what she's talking about.
So it's just like, so don't try me. I hate when people do that. Like, because if you really want to go there, let's break this shit down because I will destroy you in the English language. Point blank, period. But I know exactly what I said, and I meant every damn word of it the way I said it.
And then the hypocrisy of it all is that then they turn back around and try to emulate it and profitize off of it. You want to be so
community. Like, you can see our faces right now.
You want to be so degrading against like the food that we eat, the clothes that we wear, the way that we talk, the way that our hairstyles are, even if they are wigs. You know, you're so degrading on all those things that are the epitome of the Black experience. Yet and still, y'all want
to profitize off of it.
You trying to exactly. Get the fuck out of here.
Seriously, we preaching today. Like woo! I had to get this off my spirit. I think this podcast is helping my energy because I'm just tired of people. I am so tired of people. I am. It's like, shut up. Oh, anyway.
But I think at the end of the day, that goes back to some of our earlier conversations. Like, who are the people that we have around us? And can you recognize when somebody's basically trying to steal your energy through the words that they're saying? You know, can you recognize that and can you tune that shit out? Like, what is a teachable moment versus somebody that's trying to gaslight a situation to burn you out?
Very true.
That's the real trick. That's the real trick. True. And when you can ferret those people out, and for me, I'll just get rid of them. Like I said, I'll go.
Same. I'm with you.
I will go somebody I know. That's different.
Look, I'm with you. Toot bitch.
She's like, you're gonna see everything.
You're gonna see everything. You're gonna see every rant, every teachable moment. And I get that from my dad.
Okay. Look, I ain't gonna lie, Carell. So sometimes I do. Look, okay, so you tell you be doing this, Carell. So this is again Petty Jerrell, bitch. Petty Jerrell. So I'll be looking at some of your posts and I'll be going down and be like, I wonder how many white people saw this today.
A lot.
Look, I
They
do.
be the ones that be responding.
I do. And so sometimes I literally just be, I be floating on some of your posts, just
I'm
waiting.
sure.
But it'd be like a game, but it'd be like double dutch when you be ready to jump in. I'd be like, I want one to say something. I want one to say something.
And what a lot of them do now,
bitch.
a lot of them, because they know sometimes people jump in, they'll DM me. Now, that's the latest thing.
Ah, damn.
Literally, they'll be DMing me and be like, well, you said this and da 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 blah blah. So that's how I know they be checking it. So that's why I continue to say shit.
Oh shit! Damn. Okay. Right. I'll leave your friends.
But I think the lesson of it is that people have to start for themselves figuring out who are the people that are trying to steal your energy. Who are the people that are just saying shit just to get you focused on them and not and stay focused on the real issue.
Yeah.
Focus on people that want education, that want to have meaningful conversations, that are truly curious, that just don't know, and maybe they don't have the words to say that successfully. But there are those people out there, they just want to fight. They just want to aggravate. They just want to steal your energy because they ain't got shit else to do in their life. And the minute that you can start figuring out who those people are and figure out how to stop distorting your time towards them so that you can get the biggest bang for your buck, life will be gravy.
I ain't gonna lie, real talk. I've been checking for all my friends in Wisconsin right now and saying who been saying what and who been saying nothing. And I'm keeping tabs. Oh,
see, y'all say I'm bad on social media. She be got a spreadsheet, right?
I sure do. Look, I wish my notebook was over here because I do. I have a journal. Look, I've been writing names. I have been legit going because you can go on Facebook and search and be like friends that live in wherever. So I literally go, I do that, and I click on each profile and see who has said what,
That's funny.
who ain't said something, and I'm taking notes.
There's a difference.
You just said
Dawon.
No, you said you got to make sure you keep around the people in your energy around your circle. That's what I'm doing. I'm weeding these out.
Listen, I love your enthusiasm, girl. I do. I was just gonna say there is a difference between somebody who stay ready and somebody that's trying to get ready. and she trying to get ready for something that ain't even popping yet. She's like, I'm just needing an excuse.
No, that's because I'm gonna start it. That's the reason, because I'm gonna start it because I'm taking notes, and I've been letting people know. Oh, you've been too silent. I don't appreciate this. That's why I appreciate it. Deuces. I've literally like when I delete people, I'm letting them know.
Oh, you give them a reason?
I let them know.
Oh, wow.
I just don't delete and be like, no. I literally will delete. I will DM them first and then delete them. So that way I can still see them in Facebook Messenger or whatever the case is. And then if they want to reply back to it, they can reply back to it if they want to.
See, y'all have me over here thinking I'm bad with all my rants.
Wait a minute.
This
y'all?
auntie over here.
Not me.
This auntie over here said, I'm going to DM them, the reason why I delete them. So I have it in my messenger so I can still talk if I need to.
Right, See, and also it's just to remind myself of why I let certain people go too.
Right. I get that. Oh Lord, but
I've learned to look at the total count of comments on a post that I find controversial, whether it's in favor of something I'm in favor of or against it. I look at the number of comments because that's going to tell me how deep I would be willing to go. And if the comments is all deep, I may look at the very first page, but that's it. Because at the end of the day, what I know is I'm going to go back to every single one of those and I'm going to ruminate over who did this. And
I know it's to the point now, even people
people
be tagging me now. And I'm like, hey, I already saw it. So like,
get him.
Right. It's like, I already saw it. You don't need to tag me. But it's like, and honestly, a lot of it doesn't trigger me. I think what it more than anything just adds more to my plate. And more than anything, it's just like, I don't really give people too much power for that part of it, but it's just like, at the end of the day, I look at my plate and I'm like, oh my God, it's overflowing. Why, why did I take time to add that? I'm already busy plate is where I got to like realize it's just like, I don't always have to be the teacher. It's just like, yes, I might have the skill set. Yes, I might have the knowledge, but I don't always have to be the teacher,
Right.
And that's the part that's hard for me sometimes, because like it's just like if I see something or I know something, I'm willing to either speak up on it or help or whatever. But sometimes other people gotta step up, and it doesn't always have to be me providing that teachable moment or whatever. And that's maybe the lesson I need to learn more than anything this year. But community, hopefully you're hanging out there too, hanging in there too.
I was just curious. So in the midst of all the stuff that we're going through and the emotions that we're feeling, given the events of this week, what is your perception of, the people that are around you? Are people keeping that same energy? Are you seeing that more people are stepping in and stepping up? Are you seeing that more people are stepping away? Like, what is your perception?
I mean, I've been weeding them out, so everybody on we been on the same frequency over here. I
would say
Jerrell got that tuning fork,
right?
Look, bitch, I sure do. I got
broke a
0
branch off
time.
that's got the two little ends with the little wires. She's like, I'm gonna find you.
She got the metal detector and everything. It's probably been a little on both sides. Like, there's been people, like you said, who've been silent that I'm surprised they're silent. There's people that are silent that I'm not surprised are silent. There's people that have pleasantly surprised me, which has been awesome. That I'm like, wow, they're either way more vocal than I thought, have beliefs that are different than I thought in a positive way, or maybe I shouldn't say positive, or at least in a way that I agree with. So I don't know what that is. And then there's just other people, like you said, are gaslighting too. So it's kind of been the gambit for me, honestly. And I enjoy the ones where that I'm pleasantly surprised. There's one guy that I grew up with that we have like these long ass discussions in the DM that I'm surprised that are coming from him. And he's probably been the one out of anyone that I'm like, wow.
You're talking about Eddie?
No.
Craig?
No.
Steve?
Let's see how many. No.
Josh, look, I'm sure.
Let's see if you get it though. This will be fun. Keep going.
Aaron?
Nope.
Josh?
Nope.
Chris?
Nope.
Alex?
Nope. What other white names you got?
Kevin?
Nope.
Keith?
Nope.
Eric?
Nope.
Let's see what we got. Luke?
Nope. Oh, that is a white name, though. No, I don't even want to put his name out here. But
I was fishing, though. I ain't gonna lie. I was fishing. I was like...
But if you would have said I would have said yeah, but you haven't got it. But like, he's one that have been pleasantly surprised, and he's one that he's willing to learn. I just enjoy people that are willing to learn. Like, I don't know it all. Like, but I put the time and effort to learning and growing and reading and things like that. So I thoroughly enjoy people that admit that they might not know it all, but are willing and showing that they're willing to do the work and then also help others. And he's been that, which has totally surprised me, because I might have had a perception of him from just growing up that wouldn't have been the case. So it's moments like that where I'm like, okay, it gets a little more refreshing. But then you have the flip side where people that are gaslighting that, and it's to the point that the more you maybe have conversations with them, the more they dig in their heels, and that's the point where you're just like, there's nothing else I could say. But a lot of times they'll post shit that you're just like, that is so wrong, and no one is saying that this is wrong. So like, that's the part where again I'm like, I gotta say it because here's because it's just like, if I don't say it, clearly no one else is saying it, and no one else is providing that other point of view, because your view is so narrow, and that's the part that's always going to be hard for me to just let go sometimes, because it's just like, I feel like if I don't know, I feel like I just have to speak up. And I don't know where that stems from. It's probably my dad, honestly. My dad's a similar way, but that's the part where, like I said, you keep adding some of that onto your plate, and you ain't got no more plate. Yeah. So, and then you see like too, even like we have the VMAs coming up this weekend. So by Monday it'll be in, and they have KeKe Palmer as the host. So it's gonna be interesting of what she instills, because she be out there too ready.
She really do. She be reading. I would say this. I love me some KeKe Palmer. People be sleep on her, but KeKe Palmer is real as shit. She keep it 100. She ain't fake. She just authentically just this beautiful Black woman, and I live for her.
Super intelligent, super creative.
Yeah,
she's
and
only
her
27.
Music, yeah,
and she's been around for like 95 years.
With,
yeah,
her music is. I'm like, ooh, sticky. I'm like, ooh, man, I'm like, okay. Look.
So I hope
she has a good Instagram too, because like she's doing like this whole series, this little like Black soap opera series where she's playing all the characters.
I just hope she instills some of that, and especially how this week is gone. I hope and I think she will. I think she has the nerve and the courage to speak up and be like, Viacom, we ain't just gonna be doing shit and have this whole show and not speak on this stuff. Yeah. So I hope, and it's gonna be virtual. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, if it turns out to be more the BET side or more kind of like these convention sides and things like that. So,
I mean, I think it will be, unfortunately. And I just say that just because of like, just even the nominees, like the nominations are just overly
Wonder Bread.
Yeah, that, you know. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, like,
over half the names are Ashley.
Look at here. He said Luke.
I'm hoping
that is a white name.
It is. Sorry to any Black person that's out there listening named Luke, but the majority of the Lukes I've met,
but, you know,
that is true. It is a biblical name. So, but the majority I've met in my day are lacking melanin. And then, but here's our VMAs though right now: Brandy
and Monica. Look.
Monica.
Woo. Okay. So what team of y'all? What team of y'all? I want to know this. I want to know. Are you team Brandy or team Monica?
I'm team Brandy.
In this setting,
I'm team Brandy.
Like, I adore both of them. In this setting, it's going to be team Monica because Monica just has more of the cultural song, especially later in her career. They were both like pop stars, but then Monica kind of shifted a little more blackety black Atlanta. Yeah. So the second you hear "So Gone Over," you know the bitch is gonna lose their damn mind when "So Gone" come on. Like, yes, they love "The Boy Is Mine." Yes, they love "Angel in the Skies" and stuff like that, Brandy. But the second "So Gone" come on, and then if Monica plays "Sideline Ho," sideline ho, bitch. You know in the verse, sideline ho, use a hoe, sideline ho, yo, sideline ho, sideline ho. So in the verses, I just feel like in the verses bubble, it's gonna go Monica. If it was like a VMA and things like that, it would be more Brandy. But I'm just here for it. I'm glad they just decided to do it because for years, I think it was almost a media forced beef between them, you know? So there'd be like grown ass women say like, no, we putting that shit behind us. Even though Twitter and Black Twitter, they squashing right now.
They are going,
man, like people are going in. Yeah. I mean, I'm team Brandy. I'm team Brandy. I love her vocals. Like, and you just hear so much of Brandy's style of singing and so much of R&B today, you know, like she really did just open the door vocally in certain areas, you know.
The vocal Bible.
The vocal Bible, seriously. But I agree with you. I think Monica's catalog though is just more built for the verses.
Yeah.
But I think people are gonna be surprised with Brandy because a lot of it's going to be new for a lot of Black folks because some people are going to be like, some Black folks going to be like, wait, what song is this, Brandy? And she going to sing it and she going to sound good and people going to be like, oh shit, bitch. So I wouldn't be surprised That's what's gonna, if Brandy
there's some converts
favorite of this, and people
and let her drop Mo to the E to the.
So that
might be the trump card right there. That might be let that come on.
It's me.
They better. You know what? If they do not sing "The Boy Is Mine" live, I'm done with both of them for the rest of my life.
You know, they gonna say,
I want Mekhi Phifer in the video. I want Mekhi Phifer there. I want them Steve Madden slides back. I want Monica's white little heels from Before You Walk Out My Life.
Oh my God.
I want all that.
She want the little the no-show ankle socks with a little puff on the back, a little ball on the back. She want those back too.
Yep. I want Monica with the little straight hair down the hair. That's what I want.
You know, like it's gonna be good because it's gonna be at the Tyler Perry studio, so they're gonna be live together.
I might have to try to sneak in.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I already have my calendar set. I am going to watch it. It's gonna be amazing.
It's August 31st.
Tell the people when it is.
The day this comes out. This episode comes out. It's tonight, y'all.
Monday.
So y'all look.
So if you don't listen on Monday, you missed it.
Yeah, you're right. You missed it. But it's gonna be great.
Yeah, finish this episode and then watch them.
Right. But I think they will do The Boy Is Mine, and they'll do their other song that they did in 2000.
Yeah, that one was good.
I actually kind of liked it.
It was so-so.
It All Belongs to Me.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't have like that fight, you know, like The Boy Is Mine did.
Yeah. I just don't feel like it showed them as well vocally either.
Well, that's because I think that was them finally trying to come together, and it was on Monica's album, you know? Yeah. And so, whereas The Boy Is Mine was something they collectively do that they put on both of their albums, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it just
I've got love
that way.
All over me. Oh Lord, that verse. It's just the setting. It's so Monica.
And what's that album? Is that album called Still Standing, right?
Yeah, it's the one where she looked
dope
as hell on the cover.
What's the one that got the dun 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 dun.
That's
what's the song? Oh shit!
Damn, hold on, I gotta look it up right now.
Oh God, it's up with my jeans. Oh shit, fuck. What's that? Oh shit, what that song?
Something when the beat go, or
every time the beat drops.
Yeah, every time the beat drops.
Oh yeah, I know that
Boom,
one.
boom, 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 boom. But then for Brandy, I need.
You remind me of my Gucci shoes.
Right.
Hey,
but from Brandy, I need. What was the one where she had? I'm gonna fall in love.
Yes. Put it down.
Maybe we can fall in love. But you know who wrote that song though?
Who?
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown wrote that song.
Really?
Chris Brown wrote that song.
It was a kid. That album was
slept on. That album was so good.
Was good.
So
good.
Yeah, that album got slept on.
Real hard.
And you know what? And I feel bad. I have not taken the time to listen to the new Brandy album either. I listened to the first 2 or 3 songs and haven't gone back to it
because
yet.
Here's the thing: it's not like it's not a true R&B. It's kind of like that R&B, not funk, but like
almost like an
neo, like that neo R&B, where it's kind of just yeah.
Because I like the Borderline song, but I feel like sometimes with Brandy, you got to be in the car and drive and just sing along with Brandy. You know, like trying to hit the runs with Brandy. Like she doesn't always have like those massive, especially later in her career, those massive songs. She has these songs where you're just like, man, you hear them background? Like Brandy's top 3 backgrounds, period. It's like Janet, Brandy. Beyonce's backgrounds have gotten way good over the
way
years.
better.
So Beyonce might have moved herself into the top 5. I'm trying to think. Mariah's backgrounds are always pretty decent. Ariana Grande's backgrounds are very good now too. Sickening. So she's in my top 10 for backgrounds. But Brandy and Janet are probably like the epitome of background vocals.
Yep, absolutely. I was watching a YouTube video. She was teaching someone how to sing Borderline, and
really.
Bitch.
Wait, who's got the nerve to try to sing it?
It was some girl's daughter that she was trying to teach how to sing the song. And when I tell you, Brandy was she had me ready to take vocal lessons, okay, bitch? She was like,
right. Brandy be slaying it.
Look, she did that.
Brandy's first album was the first album that I bought with my own money. And I remember
really
like it wasn't a Camelot. I forget the music store that was in the base. I remember the mall. I don't know. There's certain moments like these that I remember where I was. I don't know why, but I remember going. It was the Bay City Mall We were eating in the food court, and at the time, remember in a lot of music stores, you could go in and listen to the tape or
oh
listen
yes,
to the CD.
like a
They
Sam
had
Goodies.
all-
Like,
right.
was it Sam Goodies? Was that what it was like?
Like I feel like the Bay
Like
City Mall had its own kind of
Best Buy.
music store, so it might have been like a indie music store in that mall.
Mhm.
But you could go in and listen, and Brandy had just dropped the album, and so I couldn't have been more than 10, 11 years old because Brandy's a couple years older, and she dropped the album at like 14, 15. So I remember going in there and listening to that album and just being like, oh my God, who is this chick? Like, is this the chick from Thea? With the little, not the bang, like the little bob hair at that point. And remember, that was literally the first album I recall buying with like whatever. I don't even know what little money I had then, how I got it, maybe taking out the trash or something. Buying Brandy's first album was the first one I remember buying with my own money. Like before then, I had other
video.
CDs, but
I sent y'all that video. It's hella good though. Her vocals is just like, whoo, bitch. She was for real. I was like ready to like, okay, you know what? Let me. me.
Does the other girl do good? Like,
yeah, oh, there was also moments where
crazy.
she was like, she was doing really well. I was like,
huh.
oh,
I wouldn't even dare. Like,
but it was
there's
just
very
like
few people who could run like Brandy.
But it was just how Brandy was teaching her how to sing it, and just like it was just so motivating and beautiful just to see two sisters like, you know, just being there. Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. So this Verzuz is gonna be amazing. I'm here for it.
It's everything. It's because like at first Monica, both of them at first had kind of said no because they were like, we're finally in a great spot and we know what happens when everyone always puts us together, pits us together.
Yeah.
And so it's just like we don't want to be pitted together versus each other. Like we like each other.
Don't need it.
You know, and it's just like, so I
but
get
this
it.
Is a
it's just
different,
like,
this is a whole different thing because this is just for the
look, girl,
fans.
you know Black
This is
Twitter.
just-
Right, that part. And you know, look, and my black ass was looking on Instagram because I went to Monica's Instagram to see if she tagged Brandy.
Right.
And she didn't tag Brandy in the first two posts, but she tagged Brandy in the last post. But Brandy only has one post.
So y'all doing too much.
Monica and it look.
See?
You know I am.
Doing too much.
I am. Mm-hmm.
See, that's why they didn't want to do it. So that's our VMAs. Forget the real VMAs. Everybody's talking about Gaga and Ariana's performance, which you know, it'll be cool. But Brandy versus Monica, I'm feeling like I'm 14 again, bitch.
Look, I'm gonna have my Hennessy on the rocks over here, bitch. I'm gonna be dancing in my room by myself. Look,
not yours, but mine.
I'm gonna have it on Apple TV in my bedroom. I'm gonna have it. Look, I'm gonna mirror my screen in my room so I can have the surround sound. It's gonna be
so community. We're gonna be talking about it again next week, I'm sure.
Hell yes.
I am sure. But that is my VMAs. That's my Grammys, my everything right now. But what else? Is that it? I don't know.
I might wear this wig for the rest of the night.
I know that's right, bitch. Yes, not the bang, not the bang. That is my favorite song on IG right now. Not the bang.
Isn't that a Monica song?
No, it's
everything.
Like, oh wait,
you are my.
No, that's Mary J. Blige.
That's Mary J. Everything.
Oh, that's on the Share My World album. That's a top 3 album for Carell.
Girl.
I know they're talking about Mary J. versus Mariah Carey. They wanted that. And I was like, ooh, that's like 2 different sides of the culture. I was like, oh no. Because I mean, like Mariah only has less number ones than the Beatles.
Right.
So that's kind of hard.
That's
but then Mary J's
really,
like, no,
really
culture.
hard.
Mary J of the culture. So, and that's a hard verse. Like verses is so like blackity black. That like.
Well, and for Mariah, she could only play the tracks because if she sang them, she ain't winning nothing.
You know what?
Oh,
she ain't winning. She ain't winning.
Do you like her new song? Oops. Stop. Oh, you don't like her new song?
Girl, first of all, I'm mad because they're like, oh, Lauryn Hill gonna be on this. They
touted it so big, and it's just the sample.
Bitch, it's just a sample. I was let me tell you. At first, I had to listen a second time because I was like, Did I miss her?
Yeah, I know.
Mariah is not going to have somebody singing a whole lot on her songs.
That is true. She ain't
Period.
never had that.
No, she writes her own. She writes for the most part her own music. She does most of the arrangement. Yeah. She does most of her own damn vocals.
Yeah.
So
I mean, she started beefing with the last person she had on a major record of hers. So
who, Whitney?
No, Nicki Minaj.
Oh yeah.
That's a good beef though.
That was a good ass season of American Idol though.
Yes, I mean
it was.
Because
it was.
Listen, I probably watched that that video of Mariah Carey giving advice to one of the singers, and she's telling her, as someone who has had a song and the number one spot of the Hot 100 Billboard albums, I can say for sure.
She said something like singers, not rappers, but like when you actual sing.
She shaded
I was like,
shit out of her.
That whole season was everything. I remember.
You do not have to reach for the rafters with every single note, darling.
That season was everything.
I actually low-key might watch that again. I low-key might watch that again. Because them two. Yeah, because those two.
I mean, Mariah will shade the shit out of you.
Absolutely.
Will shade the shit. I mean, listen,
she shaded the whole fucking country on New Year's Eve, bitch. Like,
right.
No.
Mariah don't care. Mariah does not care.
She said, fuck y'all whole year, okay?
She makes $10 million every single year just on her Christmas song.
Just for Christmas. But I mean, like, back in the day, Mariah was a bad bitch. Like,
totally,
you go back to some of these, like, old live things, and you're just like, Mariah was singing.
Although I was watching the video of Fantasy though, and that bitch could not dance though.
Oh, she can't dance for shit.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, she can't dance for shit.
No, she can't. She just stands there. Like even when she had her Vegas show, she literally stood there. They wheeled her out. They popped her up. She stood there and did this a couple of times.
She sounded good on GMA the other day too. I was like, okay. Okay, I was like, those couple months of rest did you good, because like her voice is gone. Like I feel just like for how wide of a range, I think she just killed her throat. You know, it's not natural to sing that well in that range, and over time your throat's just gonna be like, enough, bitch, enough.
I blame Nick Cannon.
Ooh. No, it happened before Nick, though. It happened before Nick. He was touching that dang leg in the back of her throat.
Let's be clear. Listen.
He was whopping Mariah Carey.
She said, touch that dang thing in the back of my throat. And she can't sing no more.
He robbed us.
But I can't wait to read her book. Hopefully she goes in. Hopefully she doesn't.
Look,
stuff.
if she has that book written,
it's done. It's September. It's September 25th.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, if she has that book written, like she reads people.
Oh, bitch, it's gonna
because
be good.
she's been talking about this for like a couple of years. And
seriously.
She's literally talking about, she's like, oh, I'm putting this
saving it for the book.
Wait for the book.
Saving it for the book.
So she is going to go.
I hope so.
And
I hope so.
That I've already pre-ordered it.
Did you? I need to do that. That might be the next book I read.
I'm gonna stay up late.
You mean with the other list of books that you have yet to read?
I know, but this one might be petty. It might be petty and juicy enough. For me
exactly.
Get it rolling again.
Right.
She's like
she
Mariah
made me
Carey
read again.
or Great. Girls like Mariah Carey or Great Expectations.
Right. Seriously.
Right.
I know, because like I have what's the one author? Oh, let me think for a second. He had the book earlier this year, something about the water. Can't get his name. Anyway, that's been on my list all year. Like, I started the year great, because remember that was one of my and I read maybe like 4 or 5 in the first like 2 months.
10 books or something like that, right?
I wanted to read 10 books by the end of the year, so I need to get the remaining like 4 or 5. But I started off great, and what happened is I started doing the Audible books, which made it easier for me because I had to commute. But then COVID hit, and now I'm working longer hours at home and things like that, and not listening to Audible. And then when I'm finally done, I don't feel like reading. So, but I still got to try to hit that goal. But no, that might be one of the next ones. I bought this Jay-Z book. I bought this Prince book.
The last book I read was a book of gay poems by Black gay men.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
And I actually want to read this one poem because I have it saved on my phone.
Okay.
And it's called "Oh Nigga Oh."
My snaps are ready.
It says, "Oh nigga oh, the bub is A, the sound I made when he was most inside me. B, the word escaping his Georgia mouth to my Yank ear. C, the face when he was most inside me. And D, the original title of Othello. Oh nigga, oh nigga."
Who wrote that?
It don't say. It's a book of this.
It's
like
just a book of them.
Yeah, and it's just literally like queer, like poems, and they from the community, Black queer poems.
Love it.
It's so good. I love this book so much. Oh nigga, oh nigga.
Oh nigga, oh nigga. But well, you know what? This episode has actually put me in a better mood because I was not in a good mood. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So thank you, ladies, because I was not feeling it at the beginning of this. I didn't even feel like doing the podcast today. I almost just said, "Fuck it, I really don't care today." So this put me in a way better mood. Is that it? Anything else? Vote. Register to vote.
Yes, please do.
Yes.
Please.
The stakes are too high, and they're getting higher, unfortunately, by the day, it seems like. So if you have not registered to vote, you could, what did I put up the other day? That seems to be the easiest. You could text register to, let me look it up now. Text register to 644-33. And we've had a community member actually do it. He said it took like 4 minutes. Because he had recently moved. You were able to update your registration. You were able to register. The deadline to register for voting is October 5th. So please do it. If you plan on mailing your ballot in, do that shit now.
I was just gonna say, when you register to vote, just plan to get your mail-in vote then too. Like get your mail-in ballot then. Just one-stop shop.
Just do it all.
Sooner the better.
Same time.
Because
and then if you got time, deliver it in person. If you have to
deliver it in person.
And you can track it too.
Yep.
You can track your.
Or not all states. I don't think Georgia
not all states
does. No.
Oh really? Okay.
No, which is stupid, but a lot of states do, and then a few of them obviously will make it as hard as possible to vote, unfortunately. But please be diligent. Please register, and then please follow through. Pack a lunch that day if you need to. Vote early. Some states are letting you vote like the week or two before. Do that because the lines are about to be crazy.
Crazy.
Like I saw that tweet. People are going to be pulling out the spades tables. Do what you got to do to enjoy the day because it's just going to be a long day. Yeah. So, I mean, if you need babysitters, line that shit up now. Be proactive. That's I guess what I'm saying.
I legit, because I'm fortunate to be in Washington where I can mail in my stuff. I legit like want to go back to Minnesota and like go to like a polling area like in the north side which is predominantly Black area and just be like and be able to provide something for my my people back in my city just because our people don't show up because we can't. Sometimes we don't show up because we don't want to lose out on something else that we need for our lives and ourselves. And if we can help, exactly. And so if we can do something like just providing food or, whatever the case is, we need to do it.
Playing tag with your badass kids for like 2 hours, 3 hours while you're in line. Whatever we need we need to support our community.
Look, and that's what I'm gonna do. All right, I need to come up with the email because I want to like start emailing some of like the local NAACP chapters in some of these cities and asking them, hey, what are you doing for our people in these neighborhoods?
Absolutely.
There you go.
We got a chapter for a reason. What are you doing? And I want to know. And I want to be able to post this information on our Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, so that way we can be able to share this information because that's
we
what we're
gotta
about.
show up and show out.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Because there's too much at stake if old boy's reelected.
I'm moving. I'm gone.
Like literally,
I'll be
I
doing this from
told
year.
Adam, I'm moving out of the country.
like
I
Gen Z,
told him already. I'm literally moving.
and I hope Gen Z realizes like it's going to affect the rest of their lives. Like literally put in Supreme Court justices and more justices around the country. It's going to affect. You think you're only 21 now, whatever it may be. It's going to change the course
of at least the next 15,
of
20
the
years.
next easily.
Easily.
Easily. And let them put in some bullshit
if you're not
laws.
part of the top 1%, your life is going to be
done. Seriously. So it is so critically important. So yeah. But other than that, wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass.
Subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
Subscribe. Download, share us, and if you have a moment, please take some time to go out to Apple and give us a review. We would love, a review from you. If you enjoy the work that we're doing, let other people know.
Yeah, 5-star review at that, please.
Yeah, because I mean, because we would like to be, put out there, right? Because the truth is, like, we would like to start being, we would hope to be recognized by some of these other, platforms and, like, online digital like website like podcast awards and stuff like that, but the only way for us to get those type of nominations is by having these reviews. So if you guys really do appreciate us, like please just please do it.
We're a black business and you ain't gotta buy nothing. All you gotta do is put the word
right. We ain't asked you for your coins yet.
And on that note, we will see y'all asses next week.
Bye, y'all. Stay black.
Have a good week.
If they don't do The Boys Minus live, I'm gonna be so upset.
Look.
So upset. And Mekhi Phifer better be there.
Look. Enough. It's not hard to see the boy is.
And Brandy better have the micro braids too. She better have the micros.
You are asking way too much.
Look,
I'm just saying.
You want the whole fantasy.
Girl, I sure do.
She gonna have a filter. She gonna have a. You know how they do the video face apps where they put your face on something.
Yes,
they're gonna take her face. They're gonna take her face and put her and Monica's old face and they young
old body. Their young body.
Brandy had them thin eyebrows back then too.
Yep.
Well, first of all, everybody had them thin ass eyebrows back then.
Right.
You right. Woo. Yes, I want the whole Boys Mind fantasy. I want the room to rotate. I want everything. I mean, if you had Tyler Perry Studios, what the fuck you there?
Right.
For,
What you know? Look,
right.
You could have did this.
You literally got studios, okay?
Seriously. I want the whole fantasy. Angel in the sky, she was.
But you know what I want her to sing? I want Brandy to sing "Broken Hearted" though.
With YA?
Yes.
And I'm only broken hearted. Life's not over. I just started. Oh, Lord. No more lonely conversations.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm
gonna have my entire life.
I'm telling you. Can you log on to Instagram from your computer?
Yeah. But I forget if you could watch the live.
I don't think you can watch live from the computer.
Nope.
So what I think I might do, I might do this. I think I might have my phone on and watch the live, and then be on Minority Report live with the reaction.
Seriously, that's what I've been doing too.
I look
chiming in. That'd be the best part because they do it on Apple. They do it on Apple Music now. And you can watch it on Apple Music, and I think the comments come from YouTube, maybe, but it's not as fun as IG. It's not as fun as IG because like the part of it is just like chiming in and cracking up when people are saying shit. So I tried to watch which one was it? I think the Snoop one. And I was like, oh, this is not as fun as the IG. So I literally turned off the TV and went back on my phone. Oh, I can't wait. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Hold on, let me. He did that little black is straight. And did that little. You took me all the way out, bitch. That was it. Hold on.
She said straight for this bayang.
Right. Took me the fuck out. Oh, I couldn't even fight it either. I was trying. That was everything. Y'all don't even got to do yours again. That was
that's going on. That's going on IG. This little
that's
here.
That's the one. Oh man. Okay. It's like his culture. Oh, maybe you got to do yours because I started laughing through yours, Jerrell. Sorry.
Okay. Black is resilience.
And black is culture. So get your cups ready for Minority Report. Said. I was like, bitch, you better flip that fucking bang. Not the bang. That all those variations of the not the bang on IG right now is everything in my life.
Cute.
Everything
it's
in my
so
life.
Cute. It's so wild. It's just so wild how something can come out of like nothing.
Nothing.
Not the bang. Not the bang. It's the bang. It's the bang. And not everybody.
Right. Oh my God. Like they had the Tony Braxton version. They had the everything.
That was like, cute. That was probably my favorite one.
Yeah, I think that one.
Like,
and then anytime they put Uzi, little Uzi with the bang, that was my favorite. Right. He said. Oh Lord, black people. I love some black people. I really do.